Hey, this is Patrick from Custom and Exotics, and this week we're working on something cool. I should have done a video before, but anyway, this is pretty cool. So let's go show what it is, and then we're gonna try to do a replica, an exact replica of this one part, to make it exactly like the real one instead of the some of the very few aftermarkets that are just plain fiberglass that are empty. So we'll try to do this one part just like the original one. So there we go. So there's a 360 Ferrari we're working on now. I'm doing some touch-ups, but this is the part. This is the front wing on a 79 Lamborghini Countach. This is the actual wing from the Cannonball run black Lamborghini from the movie. So this is like super cool to be working with. The car had a pristine restoration, but the wing started showing cracks and lines along these metal frames. So it had been painted like 3 or 4 times. I've got pictures that we took while we were stripping it. We can probably see underneath. We'll save the spot for the paint, but you can see the different layers of paint, primer, body filler. So the taped area here, and keeping that clean to match the paint, because we're not sure yet what color they used. The owner doesn't have a color number. I'm gonna guess they restored it with the original factory black, so we'll go with that first. If not, we have that spot for a camera match. But we stripped it because it seemed to just paint it over and over and over, which is a bad thing to do, and that's why problems arise. And but now we're stripping it down to the fiberglass, and it's really cool because it almost felt like it was an aluminum wing. It is pretty heavy, but it is actually fiberglass with aluminum steel reinforcement inside, or aluminum reinforcement, not steel. Sorry about that. Airplane taking off in the back. So the way they built this originally, this is really cool to have this piece so we can make an exact replica. They got this 1/2-inch piece of solid aluminum. It actually follows these lines, is all the way through to the end, from side to side, goes all the way across from side to side. Then there's these aluminum fins. You can see a little bit at the end of that. So there's the piece of the aluminum that actually stops right here. It's flat right there, and this is taken out, so that was showing a problem because the fiberglass was actually grounded down up to the metal, so it actually cracked right along the line and split up. So we're going to relayer this whole thing with 2 layers of fiberglass to cover that. Same thing with the fronts. I mean, obviously by sanding it ourselves we went down a little deeper, but you can see these metal strips they have on there. So it's actually the outer shell, the shape of it comes all the way through, so it's the shape of the wing. So these are tack welded along the top of this aluminum plate. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 2 ends that are welded on. And then they, from the looks of it, they spray foamed everything in between. It's full of solid foam underneath. They shaved that down and they laid the fiberglass over it, and then finished it up with a little bit of body filler and then painted it. So it's kind of cool in a way, but it's a lot of work. But you know, newer aftermarket, there's only 1 or 2 people that make them. They just do a fiberglass shell with a fiberglass mount to mount it, so it's just for looks. This was actually made, from what I'm looking at, you know, on the online, is this was actually a bumper for collision in the 79 to pass for the US DOT or something like that. So while we have it stripped, we're gonna make cardboard templates of all the shapes and all the ends and the metal plate, so we can actually make a perfect replica of this just the way it was made by Lamborghini in '79. So, or whoever made it. I'm not sure if it was actually done by Lamborghini. Could have been done by somebody else here in the US for the US specs. So we'll make the aluminum plates. We'll do cardboard cutouts for that. We'll do cardboard sitting on top with the cutout from here to center, and then the other half for the other side. So we have the shape all the way across, and then the front, across the front and across the back. We'll do a cardboard template of the shape viewed from the top. And in the near future, we'll go ahead and start making a couple of those for people who love these. It's a funny thing because people either love these on the car or completely hate them. Hate them. So yeah, I think they look cool, although that can't open the hood and you can't open the headlights, so that's why they have fog lights in the front to compensate for it. But unless you take the wing off to open your trunk lid in the front. So this is what we're gonna do, and it's really cool, and it's a great opportunity to work on this car. I mean, this is a historical car, super famous throughout the world. Cannonball run, black Lamborghini. So it's a really, really cool project to have that to restore for this gentleman. So this is gonna be great, and we're gonna make this like super glass finish perfect. So this way, by stripping it down and not just doing the small repairs like obviously was done previously and just trying to fix those real quick, and then coming out in there's 6 months to a year, this should be good now for a good 15-20 years, I'm hoping. So being the days stick out, so we'll go ahead and do one layer of fiberglass across the front, about like this, to reinforce it and cover these, and then an extra layer on the entire piece right across, top to bottom to the back, and redo the lip so it's pointy like it should be, because now there's some places that are thick. Here's pretty thick and here's pretty thin, so we'll do kind of like we did here, extend it out a little bit, and then we'll bring it out. It'll just be like 1 or 2 millimeters past this, because this from being grinded down has been shortened, so from stripping it. So we'll make this all the way across, and it'll be nice and solid. Do a little finish coat after that. When the fiberglass is done and sanded, we'll do 2 layers of gel coat to really seal it good so the fiberglass doesn't come back through, because this didn't even have gel coat. It was just primed fiberglass, primer, body filler, and then paint a few times. So we'll make it correct and make it last. This is going to be a really cool project to see finished, and hopefully we'll see it back on the car with a video of the car that we could do. So alright, so we'll get back to it and we'll catch up a little bit later.